Hello friends, I am Dr. Suchita Vishwakarma, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. I welcome you all to the series of lectures on supply chain and logistics management. And today we are going to cover a topic of reverse logistics, which is there in your unit 4. Up till now we have been discussing a lot about supply chain and we had discussed about the logistics. Now, with the recent advancements in this supply chain world and with the realization of companies that they need to do something about protection of environment and conservation of the environment. Moreover, also because of the legal regulations by government, logistics has added one more feather or one more extension to its process through the concept of reverse logistics. So, this is what we are going to discuss today in our lecture, and we would understand that what has led to the evolution of this concept of reverse logistics, and we would also understand the various advantages, and if at all, if any disadvantages, then what are they. So, let us get started. So, let us have a quick look at what logistics was and what had we discussed about logistics. So, coming to the definition of logistics by Council of Logistics, logistics is basically a process of planning, implementing and controlling the efficient cost effective flow of material in process of inventory, finished good and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption for the purpose of conforming to customer requirement. Now, in a simpler manner, as we have always discussed, but to explain once more, that logistics is basically movement of or transfer of goods and information. It could be in the linear manner, that means from supplier to the end term customer. From supplier, obviously it will go to the various nodes in the form of manufacturer and then to the distributor and then obviously to the customer. Now, every activity, every process that is involved, every people, every person, every organization that is involved in this smooth flow of the product and information from the supplier end to the customer end is basically what is logistics. Now, what is reverse logistics? Let us understand through a small diagram. Through this diagram, you can very well see that what we had discussed till now can also be named as forward logistics, and forward logistics is where there are various nodes in the form of supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer and customer, and the flow of information or flow of products are from supplier end to customer end. But the opposite to this concept is called reverse logistics, in which the flow of material is from customer end to supplier end. That means, the customer sends the goods to retailer, retailer then sends to distributor, distributor then sends to manufacturer, and so it goes back to supplier. Now, why does this happen? What is that customer returns back or gives or sends to the retailer and distributor and manufacturer are various things that we would understand in more detail. But before that, let us come back to the definition of reverse logistics. So, reverse logistics stands for all operations related to the reuse of product and material. Now, see students, over here we need to understand that traditionally this concept never used to be never used into practice. And why? Because earlier it was the government or the companies had never realized that the resources are scarce, and so we need to optimally utilize. So, what used to happen, for example, if a company is doing certain packaging for a product, it may be a wood packaging, it may be a cardboard packaging. So, earlier what used to happen that the supplier manufacturer used to do packaging, and the product along with the packaging used to be received by the customer. And customer used to remove that, take out the product from the out of that packet and used to throw that particular packet in the dustbin. Now, this eventually with the rise of competition, there was an increased demand of certain these kind of packaging material, and this led to lot of complexities, increase of complexities in terms of increase of demand of such packaging material. Then customers also started facing certain problems, like for example, if where should they dump all these packaging material, and so they started devising or trying to identify that how can they actually dispose the materials in a proper manner. And so they started they felt the need of some channel from where from where these packaging material can be sent back to the company. And so company also realized this as an opportunity, and they felt ki yes, these packaging materials can be taken back by the company, again recycled and reused, so that their cost also decreases, and it would bring a more of satisfaction to the customer also, because they would help the company and help themselves also in reducing the dust, conserving the environment also. So this was the basic concept why reverse logistics evolved. Coming to another definition, reverse logistics is the process of moving goods from their typical final destination in the purpose of capturing value or proper disposal. So there are various reasons I gave you right now. I gave you only one of the reasons, that is of packaging. There are various reasons why the transfer of goods starts from customer, then it goes to retailer, then distributor, and then manufacturer, and then to the supplier. So as you can see over here, I have mentioned few of the reasons, for example, recycle, repair and refill, even exchange. So let us understand one by one. I will proceed and we will understand the reasons of reverse logistics. So the various reasons of reverse logistics include remanufacturing. Now, what is remanufacturing? Remanufacturing is a process where anything which has been already used, any product which has been already used, and I have now discarded that particular product and probably I have thrown it out. So the whole products never gets bad. So the companies started realizing that they can take out certain parts of that used product even, and maybe they can reuse, recycle, or again remanufacture it to a newer product or a similar kind of product. So this is a concept of remanufacturing. That means for the purpose of remanufacturing or making up a new product from the spare parts or the unused or good part of something which has already been used. For that purpose, companies thought that they should make a channel, a proper channel through which they can ask for and call for all those kinds of products from the customers which they have now disposed of. So this is the concept of remanufacturing. Then refurbishing is also on a similar scale, where the companies use the spare parts, use the good part of the usually the electronic products, and try to make something new or something better. Return. This concept has also arisen with the coming of e-commerce channel. Now, various e-commerce channels, like say for example Amazon, Myntra, and various others, where they give us where they give the customers the option that we can purchase a product, and if we do not find it fit and good enough, then we can return. So in case of return, the companies are expected to provide us a proper channel through which the customer can return the product to the retailer, and then retailer will send it back to the manufacturer or say supplier, and they can again resell it or use it somewhere else. Then reuse, as I gave the example of cardboard packaging or maybe the wood packaging, where the quality of the product has not gone bad and can be used for any other purposes again. Refilling, for example, what happens in our LPG gas cylinders, or even it happens in case of cold drink bottles, where the bottles or the cylinder is sent back to the supplier or the retailer for refilling. Recycling and waste management. There are a lot of lot of waste that we dispose of every day, and these waste are segregated into different sections, electronics, recyclable, non-recyclable. So, accordingly these waste has to be recycled if there is a provision of it, and then turned into something good. Warranty management. There are lots of companies who are providing warranties also to the warranties also to the product in order to enhance the customer value. So, in case the customer is using any product and it has gone bad, there is some problem, the customer is facing some problem during the warranty period, be it 1 year, 2 year or so, depending on the type of product, then the customer obviously has the option to return the product or send the product to the retailer, so that it can be further repaired or exchanged, whatever. So, in this case also the companies are expected to get the provide a channel to the customers to take back the products. Then refusal of product in the case of cash on delivery, again this concept is also come into focus with the coming of e-commerce channel. Now, in case any customer has asked for or ordered any product and is not able to pay, or there is some problem with the payment or so, then the customer has an option to refuse the product and it will go back to the retailer or supplier. Then exchange, obviously this is something very common these days, because with the coming of e-commerce channel and otherwise also offline channels also, we are into a lot of concept where we exchange our mobiles, we buy a new mobile in exchange of the other, or we buy a new electronic item in exchange of the older one, where we get certain exchange value, and so the company is also benefited in terms they are able to use the some part of the machinery for the remanufacturing of any other equipment. And goods sent for upgradation and modification. There are various type of products also in which certain modification, certain upgradation also needs to be required. For example, let us say laptops, if there is some upgradation in technology that is required or some upgradation in software that is required. So, I may give my laptop to a retailer and ask them to send it to the manufacturer or some other place for remodification or addition of certain features or upgradation. So, these are the various reasons due to which the companies are nowadays forced to provide a new channel which would help the customer send the products to in the reverse order. So, what are the benefits of reverse logistics? The benefits of reverse logistics is not only to the company, but to the customer as well. So, let us understand one by one. The first benefit is reduced cost. Since the company is able to get those scrap material or unused products or maybe used products, and then they are able to and maybe the packaging material or something. So, they are able to actually use that particular part and reduce the cost in the production of the new item, and that is leading to the total reduced cost. Moreover, the cost of holding those equipments is also gets reduced in terms of the customers also. The customer is now not required to keep hold of the new of that old product, and in return they get some monetary benefits also. So, that is reduced cost for both, that means a win-win situation for both of them, the customer as well as the company. Improved corporate image. Now, over here see students that company is always trying to build up their image and goodwill in the mind of the customer. Now, if a company is doing something for the benefit of the customer, that means is ready to exchange or is ready to provide a refill of to a product at a comparatively lower cost, which otherwise in case if the customer would have bought a new one, then the cost would have been more. So, if the company is providing the same product at a slightly lesser rate because they are just refilling the product or exchanging the product or returning back something which is not of any more use to the customer, then that obviously adds to a lot of customer satisfaction to the customer. Moreover, the concept that the company is doing something good not only for the customer, but also for the environment also, that means helping in environmental conservation, that also improves the corporate image. Now, coming to another concept, which is customer retention. The companies through this channel, that means the reverse logistics, are also able to retain the customer, because if the company is providing a concept of, let us say, refill or exchange, then obviously there are chances that the customer will be purchasing the product and again and again from the same company, because of the loyalty and because of the improved corporate image. Then reduced loss and unplanned profit, because the companies are able to leverage on this particular reverse logistics. They will be able to reduce the cost of production, and hence by will be able to reduce the losses also, and will have a good enough chance of increasing the profit if they are able to properly or smoothly run this reverse logistics channel. Then the next point is minimization of environmental impact. Obviously, with this concept, the companies are able to minimize the impact on environment, because they are protecting the environment, they are reducing the load on the resources, and they are optimally utilizing the resources by not wasting them and using the each and every scrap material whatever possible. So, that means the companies are actually minimizing the environmental impact too. The last benefit of reverse logistics is that it also helps in recoupling the monetary value of items that are rejected, and can provide an opportunity or new pathway to open up a new business opportunity. Now, we have always in our traditional setup, we always have seen that there are a lot of kabadiwalas or the garbage people who takes newspapers and the cardboards from us, and then they convert it into packets, they convert it into something useful. So, this particular process of taking the garbage or the waste material of any person, any individual or any organization, and converting it into something usable, something of that makes sense, is actually providing a sense, is also evolving as a business opportunity for various people who can convert this waste into more useful items. So, these are the various benefits. Now, moving forward to some common problems of reverse logistics. Obviously, as we have discussed, that there are a lot of good things in reverse logistics, but there are a lot of challenges. There are few challenges also, and the few challenge includes the high cost involved in providing this logistics channel, because the company is now expected to provide a channel to the customers where they can return, and because of the coming of e-commerce and various other forms of purchasing platforms, the companies are now forced to recruit and have new members, new people in this particular channel, which are available for collection, and because collection of these materials, and then they are also required to warehouse all these scrap and material and the waste in order to and also they are required to separate it from the finished and new products, so that they do not get mixed, and there is no problem also to the new and the finished products. So, there is a lot of involvement of cost in the entire logistics channel. Then coming to inability to understand the rationale of return. Many companies do not realize the importance of these returns. They are not able to manage, or they are not able to handle, and so that also leads to a big problem, because unless and until the companies are aware and they understand that how they can utilize these spare parts or packaging material, or how they can refill or can they add value to these waste materials and then convert it into good, that will not serve the purpose of reverse logistics, and will not help in smooth functioning of reverse logistics. So, this is also very important, but also at the same time is coming up as a big challenge for the supply chain also. The next challenge is poor visibility into product received. Now, companies are actually not able to segregate also and understand also that how they should move forward and how they should proceed with this reverse logistics channel, and how from which all points and from where they should set up the nodes, where they should set up the warehouses, so that the proper collection can be done and from all the geographical areas, and then sufficient a larger amount of scraps are can be collected, scraps, waste or things are can be collected, which will which can be properly utilized. Then inadequate labor resources to handle returns. As I said that obviously the companies are expected to recruit more people also to handle these returns, because in comparison to the new product assembly line, they in this reverse logistics, the company will be required more expertise of people in order to separate the good part of the used product and the bad part of the used material, so that they can turn it into a better product. Over here we also need to understand that how reverse logistics is actually adding value or adding increasing or enhancing the customer experience. So, let us understand it one by one. First, tracking the original purchase data. If the company is actually able to understand and track the original purchase data, they will probably know that what is the time when the particular product may get bad, or there would be a requirement of reverse logistics. So, over a period of time, if the companies are able to track the purchases of let us say electronic products only, if a customer is buying a particular let us say mobile, then there is an obvious chance that the customer is going to replace or exchange that product in let us say 1 to 2 years, because of the coming of newer technology or whatsoever. So, if the company is having a good relationship with the customer and properly interacting, then they can obviously get to know after obviously recording the data for certain period of time, that what is the general tendency of customers to, or what is the usual time period after which the customers replace their product. So, tracking of the original purchase data will help the companies understand that for which kind of product, what is the time duration after which a reverse logistics requirement has to be provided. Then coming to the next point, that is incorporating technology in return process. Over here the companies need to understand that since they are having complexity and the challenge of recruiting more people, which would obviously lead to the increase of cost of reverse logistics process. So, in that case the company can also use technology for the return process. They can send certain reminders, they can use robotics, they can send certain systems whereby they can request the customer, they can tell the customer that at what places their collection points are, and by using technologies they can smoothen up the entire process of return. Then inspecting the product. Inspecting the product basically means segregating the product into different sections. There are certain products which are not of so very good quality, which cannot be recycled or reused or exchanged. So, the customer, even the company, both of them are required to segregate the product, and for that basically inspection of product is required, because only those products can be recycled in which there are certain parts which has some value, which certain value additions will lead to conversion into a better product. So, that also can be educated to the customer also, and the company also needs to have a proper guideline for inspecting all kinds of product. Then coming to handle damaged or recall the goods separated from buyers' remorse returns. Now, we need to understand that this reverse logistics process is not something which the company needs to provide only to the urban customer. Such requirements do also exist among the customers of remote locations. So, providing a proper spread of reverse logistics channel to all the geographical areas is something very important, because over here the company is expected to provide a proper network and then handle all the damaged and recalled goods, and because the company also needs to segregate all the kind of products. Something which is damaged has to be repaired, something which has been recalled because of refilling, that has to be done, that has to be managed separately. Something which is absolutely of waste and has come for exchange, or there are certain times when the product is absolutely waste, then it has to go for proper disposal system. So, all these things has to be handled properly. Then coming to leverage on advanced system to reconcile the returns and inventory, the company also needs to keep a track that how much returns are coming, which kind of products are returned most, and have a proper advanced system that how the processing should be done, on which kind of inventory, where the warehouses has to be done, where other transportation processor has to be provided. So, the company must leverage on advanced system, advanced technological system to reconcile and track the record and track the returns and the inventories. Connect to the omni-channel ecosystem downstream. Omni-channel basically means where the companies are actually using or having a combined system of channel, that means the offline and the online channel. Since most of the companies today are having an omni-channel, that means they are using offline, online and the various other 0 level, 1 level, 2 level and 3 level of channel. So, in that case the companies need to have a connect with all the people, so that at one point, one center, all the products can be recalled or collected, and from where the transportation can be provided properly. So, this would actually help in increasing the customer satisfaction. Over here it is also very important that this reverse logistics channel is increasingly coming into focus, and most of the companies, be it from Amazon, Myntra, or even retailers, the dairy industry, textile industry, the cement industry, the metal industry, everyone is now using this concept, where they are trying to get the waste material collected from the customer, so that they can use it properly and then help in environmental conservation also. So, this is something that you all need to understand and implement, not only in your personal but professional lives too. For further understanding, you can refer to these two books, which will help you understanding the concepts of reverse logistics in a better manner. Thank you.